You guys probably know this, but I like science fiction novels. Whether it be The Hunger Games, Fahrenheit 451, Brave New World, or 1984, I always like a good sci-fi movie or book. And so today we're going to be talking about a sci-fi author called Ursula K. Le Guin. So, let's get started. Do the intro! Dark Shun, Dark Shun, Dark Shun, Dark Shun, Dark Shun, Dark Shun. Before we start, I would like to make a big announcement. After this episode is over, and after 18 more Dark Shuns, we will officially be ending the series with a 19th episode after this. 19 episodes after this. We will be releasing that episode on March 31st of 2023. Talking about Dark Shun itself. So, let's get started. So, who is Ursula K. Le Guin? Well, that's what we're gonna find out today. She's one of the authors of the greatest fantasy novels of all time, but she's also a sci-fi author too. And so let's get this started. So as always, let's start with her date of birth, or DOB. She was born on October 21st of 1929, 11 years after World War I ended, and 10 years before World War II started, with 16 years before World War II ended. So she would have been 16 by the time World War II ended. At least she wasn't of age. Well, that's the good part. Now let's talk about something else. She was born in Berkeley, California. And at the age, well, at least according to an interview, she decided to be an author at the age of 5 years old. So, yeah. And this interview is Exploring Creativity with author Ursula K. Le Guin. I mean, there's much more that she talks about herself in this than I guess any other footage available, so I watched the whole 28 minutes of this, and it was worth it. She does talk a lot about herself and then other things too, but then again, there's not really much that you can say too. I mean, look at her right now. She's like happy talking. She's expressing her creativity and how you can do it. At a very young age, her father was friends with an Indian who survived all of the extinct, who was the only survivor of his clan of the Native Americans. He was probably said to be the only Native American who has been isolated from the West or any contact with the West itself for years at a time. And when he met her father, they were like friends, but he died when she was very, very young. So she didn't remember who he was, but she did know him from the books that she read about him, which would probably have been the inspiration for some of the settings in her novels. Speaking of novels, now before we get into there, let's talk about, well, her education. She went to Radcliffe College to earn her BA, and then she also went to the Columbia University to earn her MA. And then she started writing things. Well, her sci-fi novels weren't really good back then, and also they were all rejected. The only thing that she got to publish were poems and short stories. And yeah. And then one day, as she said, a publisher asked her if she would like to write a novel for young adults. And she was like, sure, and decided to set out and go work on some novels, which she ended up creating Earthsea, also known as the Earthsea Cycle. Yeah, these books. There are 6 of them in total, with the 3 trilogy ones at the beginning, including A Wizard of Earthsea, The Tombs of Atuan, The Farthest Shore, and eventually it added the Tehnahu, Tales from Earthsea, The Other Wind. All of them were written in the 20th century, but then in 2018, all of them were turned into a complete edition into one book with illustrations by a guy named Charles Vess. basically these are the islands which are the setting for Earthsea. I mean, she created all this, so this is I never actually read an Earthsea book, so I think I'll read this one day. It's the South Reach, the West Reach, the North Reach, the Kargat Lands, the East Reach, the South Reach, Obahad. It's all these islands that's creating it. But one of her other most notable books of all is called The Left Hand of Darkness, where it's this sci-fi world where no one is man or woman, and a person from this planet that is the setting of it could be a father and a mother in a lifetime. And that's weird. That's weird. The Dispossessed, which is another novel. This is actually one of their greatest works too, and I have to say that even by just looking at it, it looks good. So some key facts here. The Earthsea was written from 1964 all the way to 2018. Not that any of these books were written until then. 2018 was the date when this was combined. The Left Hand of Darkness books was written in 1969. And The Dispossessed novel was written in 1974. Which is kind of a long lifespan to really talk about. And so after trying to publish more things, and after writing much more, she died on January 22nd of 2018. Just 21 days after New Year. Wow. So that's the end of today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this special episode of Hanshan Sean, Dark Sean, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Shnan out. Peace.